With breaking news, large parts of Spain and Portugal have been hit by a power outage. Footage from Madrid.
Well, we're going to cross in live to Barcelona, talk to our correspondent Dave Keating, who joins us from there.
Yeah,
Dave,
a lot of talk about cyber attacks possibly, but the government's been quite adamant that we shouldn't jump.
Large areas of Spain and Portugal have been hit by a power outage.
The question, Guy, is what was behind this huge power outage? I know that Spain's increasing reliance on solar and wind
was a very difficult 24 hours. Some people were stuck on elevators, stuck in metros.
We're pointing the finger very firmly at a cyber attack. But the government has...
There were people who came out and said this looks as though it's a cyber attack. But certainly the government said there's no evidence pointing to that at all. But from the...
It's invisible to most of us, but it powers everything. The internet, your phone, your water supply, your heat, your bank, your life. The American power grid, 3 major systems, over 160,000 miles of high-voltage lines, and millions of people who believe that it can't fail. But they're wrong. Because the very thing we depend on most is also the most vulnerable. And when it fails, not if, but when, the country will fall with it. Welcome to Silent Blackout. Tonight, we're looking straight at the wire, the aging, cracking, overloaded system that runs the United States. The one no one thinks about until it's too late. America's power grid isn't a fortress. It's a ticking time bomb, and it's already started to count down. Let's start with the truth they won't say on the news. The US grid was never designed for the world we live in now. It's a patchwork of aging infrastructure, stitched together over decades. Much of it built before smartphones, before the internet, before we plugged every part of our lives into the wall. Some transformers have been running for over 40 years. Substations are under constant stress. Power lines sag under rising demand. And while our usage has exploded, the system hasn't kept up. Instead of rebuilding, they keep adding layers, more wires, more stations, more complexity, and complexity is weakness. Think of it this way. The grid is like a giant spider web. If you touch one thread, the vibration is felt across the whole structure. Now imagine someone cuts that thread, or pulls it too hard. What happens next? We've already seen the answer. Let's look back. Texas, 2021. A winter storm hits. Temperatures drop. The system collapses. 4.5 million people without power. Hundreds dead. Not from violence. Not from terrorism. But from cold. From failure. That was one state. One storm. A few days. Now imagine it nationwide. Imagine it lasting weeks. The Northeast blackout of 2003. Over 50 million people lost power in minutes. One small software bug triggered a cascade of failures. No terrorism, no attack, just error. The US grid isn't just fragile, it's exposed. There are over 55,000 substations across the country. Most are unmanned. Many are barely secured. They're behind fences, not walls. Sometimes they're protected by nothing more than a camera. In 2013, in California, a group of gunmen attacked the Metcalf power substation. They fired over 100 rounds. They cut fiber optic lines. They vanished. No one was caught. No one was charged. And they almost took out power to Silicon Valley. It was a message, a test, a demonstration of how easy it is. One substation, one night, no national alarm. Because if the public truly understood how vulnerable the grid is, how quickly it can fall, they wouldn't sleep at night. This isn't just about storms. It's not just about aging lines or software bugs. It's about targets, weak points, sabotage. There are people, foreign and domestic, who know exactly where to strike. And they wouldn't need bombs. They just need time and darkness. Think of what would follow. Hospitals offline, water systems fail, gas stations shut down, banks unreachable, traffic dead, police radio silent, people panic. Most American cities have only 3 days of food supply on hand. Without power, refrigeration fails. Delivery systems stall. Payment systems freeze. Chaos doesn't start in the streets. It starts in the silence. The silence of no answers, no updates, no plan. And yet, despite all of this, despite the warnings, the history, the evidence, nothing has been done. They've had decades. They've spent trillions elsewhere. But the grid remains exposed. Why? Some say it's bureaucracy. Others say corruption. But there's another theory, a darker one, that it's not a matter of negligence, but preparation. That the fragility of the grid is useful. That collapse can be convenient, because a blackout creates opportunity for control, for reset, for silence. No communication means no resistance. No power means dependency. No internet means disconnection. And in that void, new rules can be written. New systems can be installed. Quietly, permanently. The question isn't, will the power grid fail? The question is, when and what comes next? The truth is, you won't be warned. You won't get an alert. The lights will simply go out. And when they do, you'll have minutes, maybe hours, to react. The only thing you'll have is what you prepared in advance. Water, light, food, information, and mindset, because panic spreads faster than fire, and the unprepared follow whoever offers light in the darkness, even if that light blinds them. So if you're hearing this now, you still have time. Time to learn, time to question, time to prepare. This is not about fear. This is about recognizing what's already happening. The warnings are here. The evidence is public. The systems are aging. The threat is growing. And the people in charge are silent. This is Silent Blackout. Subscribe, share, and prepare, because when the lights go out, it won't just be the power we lose. It'll be everything. We'll see you in the silence.